Hello all, welcome to my channel. I am Rajiv Pujala. In this video, let's take a quick overview of all aggregate functions. So what are aggregate functions? So anything which is like summing the values in a column or like finding the average of a total revenue or like any number or the count of how many records or and the maximum value in a table or the minimum value. And let's look, and also we will look into an example where we can use all of them above. And also let's take a quick look at group by and having as well, and also we will take an example where we can use both group by and having functions. Okay, let's jump into the BigQuery. There it go. So I'm going to take a dummy data with data as select. So let's take regions and the revenue it is generating. Okay, union all. I'm taking north again. So let's take like 240, maybe like let's take like $1 million or something. Mhm. Okay, I don't have to do. Let's consider 240 as $240 million, and let's say like again south 770 union all. Select south maybe like 1000 union all. Select east 22,000. Oh my god. Okay, now if you would like to sum all, for example, if you look at the data, so let's start from data. So basically, this returns all the data. It returns all the rows in a table view, which is like this. Now, if you would like to sum all the revenues as per the region, so for example, if you do something like you can quickly do the sum. To see like you can calculate all the sum of revenue as total revenue, right? Now, by doing this, you can see like the total, by summing all these values, it is like 23,510. But if you'd like to see the revenue as per the region, so what you can do, you can just have to put like region, comma, sum of revenue. And whenever we are using any of the aggregate functions, whatever the rest of the columns, we have to group by that one. So group by one. So once we group by, basically what happens, so first um, it goes into the data and it groups north as one row and south as one row. And once after grouping this one, it will sum 100 plus 240 is equal to 50. And for south, it will display like 1000 plus 170 is equal 1170. Let's run this one. And now you can see how it has grouped and how it has displaying the values. This is how we can do the sum in the SQL. And now let's take all the data. Let's take a look at average. So I'm taking the same data again. So again, if you'd like to average, you'd like to see the average of all the revenues, revenue as average revenue from data. If I run this one, you can see the average is 4,702, right? And if in case if you would like to have for the averages by region, you can do like region average. And again, as I said, while performing any aggregate functions, whatever the rest of the columns, you have to group by one. Or if in case the region is this side, okay, for example, region is here, and you have to do group by two. You have to ignore this one. And or you can do group by two, or you can group by region as well. So now let's run this one. And now you can see, okay, as average revenue. Sorry. So you can see the average revenue and the region. This is how we can calculate the average. The average is also called as a mean as well, FYI. And let's do the count. Okay, again, I'm taking the same data. So let's go ahead with count. Okay, first let's see how many records are there. Select count of star from data. So this gives the list of records, how many the count. There are like 5 records, which is really good. And if you would like to see how many values are there in a specific column, okay, so what you can do, count, for example, region. So this returns how many values are there, as how many five values are there. For example, here I'm gonna do union all, select west, and the value is null. Okay, let's assume that the west region has no revenue. And now select region. If I run this one, it will return six records because the values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if I do the same count of revenue, only five records has values and sixth one has null. Now if I do this one, it will only return five. Why? Because it ignores the null values. So this is how you can count the number of values in a column, right? And there is one more count called distinct count. Let's see. So for example, if you look at the list of regions, for example, select region from data. So you can see there are like six regions, and we can clearly say that they are duplicates. So if in case if you would like to remove the duplicates, there are two ways. Either one is that you can do group by region. So basically this removes all the duplicates, and it generates it gives a like the unique values. Or else if you delete this one, you can also, we have one more value, which one more way, which is distinct. So by running this one, we can remove the duplicates as well. And if you'd like to count the number of unique values, so what you have to do, count of distinct region from data. So when we do this one, we can count how many columns are, how many individual values, unique values are there as unique region count. Cool. So now let's quickly take a look at max and min. Max value and minimum values. So I mean, out of all these, let's look at what is the maximum value. Select max of revenue as max revenue from data, and you can see that the maximum value over here is 22,000. Oh, this is really good. And if you would like to have as per the region wise, select region comma max, group by region. So in this way, we can see the maximum value as per the region. For example, so the north, it has 100 and 240, and the maximum value is 240, and the south it has 117,000 as 1000. And wherever there is only one value, it displays the value. And this is how it works. And west, it has null values. And let's take a look at minimum values as well. Select minimum revenue from data. So what is the minimum value over here out of all this? It is 100. So whenever you're performing the minimum value, it is removing the nulls. It is excluding the nulls, which is a good thing to notice. And if you would like to have region wise, region minimum values like as minimum revenue, so group by one. So now this gives the minimum value as per the region, and it returns west as null because this is a null value. What if we have a union all, one more west, and the value is like one, so it will return. Let's see what it will return. It returns the value is null. So basically, whenever there is a null, it tries to ignore, but there is only one record, it will display the value as well. And now let's look at an example. Let's consider the same data. Okay, so find the total revenue, average revenue, max revenue, and total orders per region. Okay, let's see how we can do this one. So select from data. Let's look at. So what is the total revenue per region? So the region is a common one. Keep this one. The total revenue is nothing but sum of revenue as total revenue. Okay, and the average of revenue as average revenue, and max revenue, max of revenue as max revenue, and total orders count of, so you can say like star how many as number of like total orders. Okay, so basically we have aggregating all this one, whichever the columns which are not aggregating, we have to group by that one. So group by region. Let's run this one. So it gives all the values like that. So north, how much is the average, the revenue, max revenue, total, everything, etc. And now let's take a look at group by. So this is something that we already discussed in this one. Hmm, for example, this is the data. Select if I'd like to have the revenue region. Region group by has many values. We can do whenever we have performing aggregations. We have to do group by, or else whenever you want to delete the duplicates, we can use the group by. Total revenue from data, group by one. So this is cool, right? So let's take a look at having. So this is the same one. For example, let's we are doing the same again. Region, we are doing the total revenue as total revenue from data, group by one. Okay, so as of now, this is cool. Now, for example, after performing this one, if you would like to know, if you would like to see um, only the values where the total revenue is more than 1000, is greater than 1000. So then, whenever you are doing the aggregate functions, and if you would like to filter that one, you can use the having. So having, you can use total revenue, or you can mention something like this as well. Because if you look at the SQL execution order, after the columns, this having function comes. So you can either use this one or this one. And yep, that's it. Thank you for watching this video. I know that this is a lengthy video, but I hope it helps you to understand few of the concepts. Thank you for watching.